weapons be submitted to the security department. The security officer.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, before I make my comment about the House of Assembly here present, with such short notice, I was told at about 10:30 p.m. yesterday that this motion is coming up, and the test video was put across to all of them. And despite the fact that it says I can see a large number of them present here. It goes to show you kind of support and cooperation we have with this government. Thank you very much for it. The said social security bill as passed into law by the State House of Assembly with the governor, Dr. Kari for his assent and signing into law to enable our other citizens benefit from the 8-point agenda of the government. This bill is not by accident, but a deliberate policy that the government will fulfill its campaign promise to the agent to provide them incentive for a good living, to enable them to contribute their quota to the development of the state and offer useful guide as other citizens in their various communities to peace and security. The honorable members of the House of Assemblies were guided by the 8-point agenda and special role of our other citizens in their various communities in considering this bill, particularly as it has potential to add to the feelings to some of the salient points of the 8-point agenda, including participatory governance and motivating the citizens with ideas for better opportunities. In the health sector, the government is committed to free medical services for senior citizens with plan to establish health center in all localities to take care of the other citizens in any location they live. This, the government believes, will make it possible to engage our other citizens in their areas of competence and experience for good governance of the state. We are here today making history as the first state in the whole West Africa to design a social security system for the aged as a moral challenge to take care of our senior citizens. We know the critical roles they play in life and in society at large. Their work counsel is immeasurable. And the pursuits of our cultures and tradition, the deep knowledge of our history by our aged citizens is not something we can push away. We must always emphasize custom and history as part of the components of social engineering mechanism for development. It is our custom to take care of our aged. Their intervention during critical moments is not something we can afford to miss. Their labor and toils in molding us to become responsible citizens is not what we can overlook without making them reap the fruit of their labor. All this, including the government vision, added to guide us in quickly passing this bill. It is gratifying that this initiative by the government, Dr. Kari, has already caught the attention of the federal government, even though the program was never planned by the federal government initially, and there was no time during the president's campaign that we promised aged Nigerian social security. Our government's initiative has become a moral burden and challenge to the federal government to start the process toward having a national social security system for the aged. But then, we have recorded the first here today. Following the first, we have also recorded in domesticating freedom of information bill. Let me congratulate the government for this vision. Let me also congratulate the honorable members of the House of Assembly who also shared this vision and who demonstrated their love for the aged through their conduct during the debate of this bill. As we have promised our people over and over, we will continue to be guided in our actions by a desire and deliberate policy to shape our society for better. This is the stand of our great party, Action Congress of Nigeria, and we shall be guided by our belief and party discipline to ensure that all initiatives that the governor and honorable members of the House of Assembly shall be favorably considered to ensure good life for our people. As I present this bill as part of the House of Assembly for signing into law, we the Assembly members believe it shall be faithfully implemented to the glory of God and benefit of other citizens of Ekiti State. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to present this bill to the governor of Ekiti State, Dr. Karabi, for his assent in the government of Ekiti State.
The bill is already been signed by Mr. Governor. Providing for the elderly citizens. Congrats. We are now set to listen to the governor's remarks.
Your Excellency, the women, gentlemen of the press, it is a great pleasure for me to welcome you to this historic occasion of passage into of signing into law the Social Security Scheme for the indigent elderly in Ekiti State. You will recall that about 5 months ago, and precisely on the 1st of October 2011, this administration announced the commencement of the Social Security Scheme for the indigent elderly over 65 in Ekiti State. This was in addition to the free health care program of government, which already covers this age group. Although payment commenced immediately in October 2011, we were mindful of the need for sustainability over the long term, hence the decision to back this initiative with legislation. I want to particularly thank Mr. Speaker and honorable members of the State House of Assembly for working assiduously on this bill and passing it into law within a record time. I also would like to thank the former Commissioner of Employment, Labour and Human Capital Development, Mrs. Olubuga, the Attorney General and Commissioner of Justice, the Special Advisor Legal Matters, Professor Odinji Adekule of the Nigerian Institute of Advanced Legal Studies, and Mr. Wale Faponga of the Legal Resources Consortium, who formed the initial draft team for a job well done. Equally, the new Commissioner, Mr. Palara Oleade, and an ESCO subcommittee for the work on the bill before presentation to our Honorable Assembly. In my inauguration speech on October 16, 2010, I made it very clear to the good people of Ekiti State that this government is irrevocably committed to any promise made, particularly the ones relating to providing support to our indigent elderly population. This promise featured prominently in the 8-point agenda designed as the roadmap to Ekiti recovery during my campaign for this office way back in 2005 to 2007. To some skeptics at the time, this was just a vote-catching gimmick of a typical, opportunistic, and desperate politician. Even to our genuine admirers, the realization of this dream was unthinkable and unfathomable given the limited resources available to our state. The realization of this goal today, of passing this and signing it into law, is therefore a study in careful planning, in single-mindedness, and in unquenchable optimism. Now that the goal is realized, it is the beginning of the fulfillment of our campaign promise to provide for our elderly in their old age. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, our government has gone this far to ensure that everything is done to make us stand shoulders higher than other states in the Federation by recreating our faith of a life more abundant and freedom for all, even for the elderly. It is noteworthy and particularly thrilling for me that a number of states, as well as the federal government, have shown a keen interest in this scheme and have been asking us for advice on how to launch it. This morning, we launched another revolutionary scheme of providing one laptop per student in all our secondary schools. Again, it is the first of its kind in any state in the Federation. The question my colleagues always ask me in the Governor's Forum is how we manage to do all this, given our 35th position on the revenue ladder in the Federation account. First, it is to God that we must give the glory. It is, however, also a testimony to prudent use of our resources, our focus, the fidelity to our campaign promises, and careful planning, which are the clear hallmarks of this administration. This law, this bill that has been signed into law, is definitely going to assist us in the diligent implementation of this scheme. And I want to once again thank our honorable members who have taken a time of rest, because it's the first time they are going on recess since they assumed duty in June 2011. And in that period, they've already passed 29 laws, bills into law. Bills that ran amongst the best in the Federation, be it the Freedom of Information Law or the Gender Violence Prohibition Law or the Social Security for the elderly that is now being freshly signed into law. Ekiti has become the destination of choice for everything that is good and decent. There used to be a time when one state in the Federation, a region at the time, used to be known as producing the first stadium in the Federation, the first television in the whole of Africa, the first free education program in the continent, and that is what we wish to be. That is what we are. And I want to thank everyone for their support in making this law possible in our state. Thank you. God bless you.